point when you do it. Okay, great. Thank you, Josh. So hello and welcome to the test thing of IPF Virtual. So Courtney, yes, you are on the correct live stream. And I'm just going to answer some of your questions right now to do this for a second. Oh, they're all coming in. Do voting points reset throughout the day? I'm going to take that question and put it away and ask Josh about it later. Courtney, yeah, you are on the right live stream. So what we're doing right now is we're just doing a systems test. So I wanted to have all of you go in, log in to test the login process so that you are aware of that process. And we're going to do this for about 20 more minutes. And then we're going to go into a Teams call where we're going to talk about some other items. Knowing what you thought of the user experience logging in, and then also knowing about the user experience while you're watching is something that we want to talk about when we do the Teams call in about 20 minutes. Part of this is also a practice for Josh, Brandon, and I, and then part of this is also a practice for Lizzie and Emily so that they'll be able to harvest questions and then get them over to Brandon when we do the live Q&A during the live stream. For the moment, just keep watching the video. Well, actually, you want to do this? Hey, Josh, do you want to switch over to Brandon's video? And then Brandon, you can say a couple things while I respond to some of the text messages I've gotten from our team.
Hey team, can you guys see me out there? Well, we're broadcasting live, I guess, and it was pretty fun doing rehearsals. I have to remember not to pivot in my chair like that. I have to get another chair.
Hey,
I'm going to get this other chair because I keep pivoting in this chair.
So what you need to do is you need to go to schedule on there. So when you go into, you've logged in, you're in there, and then you go to schedule. And then in the schedule, there will be on Friday, it says Josh's test, and then you click on that and it'll bring you to the live stream.
All right. Am I still live here? Okay. Lori is saying your faces are very clear on the go, but it's blurry on the live stream. Can anyone hear me? Josh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I gotcha.
You're on mute.
Lori, on the live stream, it will clear up as it tests.
Is there any indication that I'm broadcasting when I am actually in broadcasting?
Yeah, Brandon. It's I'll tell you that in a second. Let me finish talking to Lori. Lori, just hold on a sec. It's also dependent on your internet connection at your house. But if you want to kick on
it's fine now. And Brandon, I'm telling you in the chat function when you're live. Okay, Sakura, you could probably do the same thing.
Am I, Josh? I can't hear because I don't have my headphones plugged in, but I'm presuming my microphone in the video is live. Liz asked me if I had wireless earbuds. I don't have wireless ones except for those giant can earphones that I have. So what I'm going to do is do a headphone extension cable and just like bring the earbuds over my ear. So Liz, if you're listening, text me, I guess.
You want to make me live again, Josh? Josh, so that Brandon and I can talk to people.
Oh, you're
Brandon
texting
is
me.
live right now.
Okay. So Liz, to answer your question, there should be a chat box on the side where you're able to type in any questions you have. So there'll be the Vimeo thing live stream on the left, and then on the right is the event question and chat function, and you should be able to type in your question there. And then your question will end up going to the EventScribe page that Lizzie and Emily will be monitoring. So we'll collect all those questions, and then we're going to provide those questions to Brandon.
Hey, I gotta shut my camera off for a second.
And then Nancy, yes, you are all muted because you are attendees, and you're just going to be watching the live stream as opposed to participating vocally. When we do our actual live stream of the panel, Nancy, that will be controlled in GoToMeeting, and you won't be muted. Okay, and then for some of you, there was a question about video quality. So when you first start the stream, the video quality will be a little bit potatoey. But then after a little while, it cleared up for me, it cleared up for Lori, so it should clear up for you and for all of the other attendees. Liz, it looks like you're on the GoToMeeting.
You guys there? Can you talk for a second so I can test these?
Yep. You testing your headphones?
Cannot hear you. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you guys just talk back real quick so I can hear if these are working?
Yep.
Can't hear you.
This afternoon, Brandon, we'll do a final thing to your script. And we'll do that this afternoon. Are you able to hear us? Maybe not. As it fixes that. Okay. Josh, could you bring up the PowerPoint template so that the staff can see what the PowerPoint template is going to look like with the video and a PowerPoint playing? Do you want me to pull up a PowerPoint as well to share it so that it fits into the template? Yep, no, I appreciate that. And then Josh, they can hear you at the moment, right? Just I can hear you. Okay, yeah, so for all of you watching, I'm talking to my imaginary friend, Josh. He's the guy in the background that puts together all of the video content. So when I'm talking to an imaginary person, it's Josh. And he's gonna share what the PowerPoint presentation is gonna look like and how that video is gonna be overlaid on top of the PowerPoint presentation. All right, and then questions. So it's just questions, David. I believe it's just questions, and I'm going to verify that as opposed to having a chat. We wanted to limit it to just questions so that was a little bit cleaner rather than having it just be a continuous chat. Yeah, and I don't want to chat. So it's just going to be questions that people are going to be able to ask. Okay, and then Lizzie, you can't mark questions as answered. Okay, so what are we can I approve it? Maybe if I hit approve, or is it just questions? Just questions. I'd rather not do that. I mean, it's just a lot. No, not for when we're having 4 panels a day and possibly 700 people on a stream, because that's just way too many questions to keep up with. So I think we just want to use it to harvest questions, and we'll just have to make sure to mention something like that when we're harvesting questions. Okay. And then, and we're waiting for Brandon to come back. Man, this is also just a really good test for all of the friggin' messages you're all sending me.
Okay, can you start into the video now?
Okay.
Yeah, please.
And Lori, to clarify, you want the opening video with Brandon and Liz's open, or do you want the 15-minute video of everything?
The Brandon, Liz.
Okay. Okay. Yep. So Brandon, Liz video, Josh.
Okay. Over the next 2 days, we'll be providing the time-sensitive content that you need to prepare your business strategy in the ever-evolving U.S. offshore wind sector. My name is Brandon Burke. I'm the Policy and Outreach Director for the Business Network, and I'll be your MC for the next 2 days. So before we get started with today's program, I have a couple logistical notes. First, all sessions of IPF Virtual are being recorded. A link to the recordings and presentation slides will be sent to the email address that you used to register. The audience will be kept on mute. Each 1-hour session will include 45 minutes of presentation and 15 minutes of Q&A. And should you have any questions for our panelists, please go ahead and type them into the chat box on your screen. And now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce the one and only CEO and President of the Business Network for Offshore Wind, Liz Burdock.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to IPF Virtual, and welcome to my home. Like so many of you around the country and around the world, I'm sheltered in place with my family, and I hope you and your family are safe and well. You know, this is a little weird talking into my computer video screen, and it's certainly not how I had envisioned opening the 2020 IPF, but I'm really glad that you decided to join us. I also recognize that this is an extremely challenging situation for all of us. But technology enables us to deliver one of the hallmarks of IPF to you, which is timely and valuable information right to your own home. I also recognize that the world has slowed down due to COVID-19. But the good news is that offshore wind keeps on moving forward in the United States. Just last week, Virginia's governor signed a piece of legislation that includes a 5,200 megawatt commitment of offshore wind. States have now committed to 29 gigawatts, and these commitments are codified into law, and they firmly establish our U.S. offshore wind market. And when you get a market, you also get regulations kicking in. And that's why we decided to deliver to you the content that you're going to be hearing over the next 2 days. Historically, Bohm and Bessie have used the IPF to gain industry input into programs and policies and to solicit feedback. So although you might be listening from your home office or your own living room, I highly encourage you to use the platform to engage with the regulators. I also encourage you to use the virtual platform of WindMatch and your network membership to keep reaching out to those business partners and to create the strategic relationships that we are going to need to strengthen U.S. offshore wind supply chain. You know, in the United States, we have 11 projects that have received a state financial award. We also have 7 construction operations plans under review at Bohm. The world and our country are going to need those clean energy infrastructure projects to get our economies moving again, and we're going to need you. So in closing, I want to say thank you. Thank you for your flexibility, for your understanding, and thank you for your support. I also want to encourage you to keep reaching out and connecting with one another. I also want you to keep checking back in with the network to hear about the latest U.S. offshore wind developments, because things are happening. But most importantly, I want you to stay safe and well.
Are we live right now? Okay. All right. So we're back, Brandon.
Okay, so should I just go with the top?
Yeah, just go with the top.
Once again, good morning, everyone, and welcome, and thanks for joining us for the first ever IPF Virtual. I'd like to introduce our first workshop, which is called Offshore Wind: The Challenges Ahead. Our panelists will be addressing topics that impact activities, the pace of state procurements, and offshore transmission. Please welcome me in joining our moderator, Jim Bennett, Chief of the Office of Renewable Energy Programs at the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management. And please also welcome our panelists, Bill White, President and CEO with EnBW North America, John Dalton, President of Power Advisory, and Eric Hines, Director of the Offshore Wind Energy Graduate Program at Tufts University. With that, Jim, please take it away.
Okay. Thank you, Josh. And then, sorry, I have a couple questions here to go through. Okay, so the process for this, because Liz, I just saw your question. So the way that this is going to work is at 8:45, we're going to have a video playing, an entrance video, and it's going to be the one that you saw when you first logged in with the upscale elevator music and the slides rotating. Following that video, it's then going to go into Brandon and Liz's introduction. So the video will play. And then after Liz's video, Brandon does that intro that you saw, and then we're going to go into the first panel of the day. So Liz, when you texted about you lost sound, that's because that was just a panel slide. It wasn't any video, and there wasn't anything with active audio going on. So it was just put up there while we're waiting to go into put up there, because we're not going right to Jim and Eric and all of those. But then it would just cut over to them. So that's why you lost sound. Emily, with respect to your question of texting Brandon, yeah, you're not supposed to text Brandon during the live stream. When you're providing him with information, please do it through Microsoft Teams. Also, during Lizzie and Emily, yeah, that questions function is that there's a lot of questions in there, and then they move all around. So we're gonna have, after we finish with this test, I'll talk with Josh, and then I'll figure out how we can make that a little bit, how we might be able to make that more manageable, or how we're gonna have to adapt to it. Josh, it looks like there was a part where there was a delay or the sound might have cut out. Did you pick that up on your end? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So all of you who are watching the live stream, my imaginary friend Josh is a little manic right now, trying to answer questions on the GoToMeeting, but then also doing stuff for the live stream. So with respect to that loss of audio, that was Brandon. That was Josh not having enough hands. So that's why that audio had cut out there. And then, yeah, David, once again, that audio was cut out just because Josh wasn't able to do the complete transition with us asking him questions and then also trying to do the live stream. Okay, so I'm just doing a quick check here to make sure that I've answered most of these questions. And then one question that I have, Josh, it's mainly for Brandon. But it's so that, because Brandon's not, is there a way that Brandon's going to be able to see should Brandon just have the live stream playing so that he knows what's live? I've been telling people not to have the live stream playing because I don't want there to be any technical issues or audio issues. But what would be a good indicator for Brandon so that, he knows and he's prepared and he knows when to look up for your hand signal?
Hi, everybody. So I'm going to jump on the live stream here as well as the GoToMeeting. So the live stream is about 15 to 30 seconds behind real time. So anybody that pulls that up who's going to be on the GoToMeeting is going to be confused. That's why Brandon shouldn't do it. I don't have a way of, well, as long as Brandon has the screen up, he'll have an idea of when the PowerPoint's up. But when I come back to him, we're just going to basically have to time it that when we go back to a panel, Brandon's going to be up. I will give you hand signals, but as soon as somebody's done talking or they throw back to you, I'm going to be putting Brandon up.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, just watch for the hand signals, Brandon. Okay. So the way that we had this scheduled, everyone, is that we were going to do a half-an-hour test, systems test with Josh, and then we're going to jump onto a Teams call with Lori so that we can all run through things with Lori. So what I would say now is I would say save your questions for when we get into the Teams meeting, and then I'm pulling up my calendar right now. And then there's a calendar invite there, all staff IPF rehearsal debrief, and it's a Teams meeting. So just make sure to join that here in the next 2 minutes. And then Lizzie and Emily, I will follow up with you about questions and how we're gonna do stuff with those questions, because it's hard to keep up, and but I'll talk with Josh about that, and then I'll get back to you on that. And I think that we're good for the moment. Yeah, if you could all get on the Teams call, that would be great. I'm just going to spend 2 minutes here with Josh and Brandon going over some of our back-end live stream items, and then I'll join all of you in a couple minutes. So Josh, if you could go back to just having the video play while they all X out, and then we'll just have a brief discussion.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Josh. Bye.